Anything in that institution. It was probably scarier when it was in full operation.
Now let's look at the biasing of an architectural element.
Do you know how long this was boarded up?
Well, I was here in '75 and I never saw it.
I was with him at the interview when we did that. He had certainly been up there to see it prior to me going up for the interview. That was done, I think Ryan was here for probably 2 days or 3 days or something when they were doing their filming. And that's how he got upstairs, to be able to see that.
The history of it, it's very vague. Right now we don't know of anybody that can give us the history on that.
Obviously there's some New Age beliefs that use the pentagram, but most practices that use the inverted pentagram are known as Satanists or devil worshippers.
Certainly he had a different viewpoint of what it was. I was asked to come up for the interview to acknowledge or to explain what I knew about it, which was simply, I didn't know anything about it. The history of it, trying to trace it, was something that was very difficult because a lot of the old history at the prison is not here. It's not even archived. It's probably one of the poorest jobs that we have done, maybe in West Virginia history, as far as I'm concerned.
In the episode, Josh briefly mentions there's no record of the architectural element.
There's no reference to that inverted pentagram, pinnacle, whatever you want to call it, at all.
No reference? No problem. Listen to Michelle Belanger make a biased statement.
Generally, if somebody is using that as a satanic symbol, they're doing it in a subversive way.
And here's more in a Bias by Buell statement.
Now, I only know of a few cultures and religious belief systems that use the inverted pentagram. The most prominent is devil worship.
Moving on to some other issues.
The warden's tower is actually up here. I was invited here with Chad about 6 months ago, and they do not allow people up here, but for whatever reason, they allowed for myself to come up here and do a private investigation. I was here alone.
I haven't invited anybody from the paranormal organizations to this institution. They come, they look me up. From California to Canada to Europe. It's not unusual for those people to look us up. We have a tremendous website, and I think that's probably what promotes it more than anything. I don't have to do anything other than organize it and calendar it and see that I get paid to keep a roof on the place. We began to look at that portion of the facility and decided to close it off because of it being a fire hazard. It's all wood structure. Didn't want the activity in there, didn't want my maintenance people in there. So we closed down that portion of the facility totally.
Was Ryan alone, or due to insurance purposes, would Moundsville staff like Tom Stiles have to be with him?
They've been in the, they would have been in the area, yes. You know, you just don't hand you the key and you go upstairs. That wasn't it.
What I'm about to show you is not actually public knowledge. What you're looking at is an inverted pentagram.
Here's, I think the way that you would state that, or he should have stated that, as far as public knowledge, it's making out like Ryan was the only one that has ever seen it or ever been exposed to it or what have you, and that's not true. I've had staff members that have been up there that, you know, that have, we've had roofers up there that have to go through that portion of the building to get to the main roof. We put new roofs on, so there is probably numerous people that have seen that portion that's been exposed. So it wasn't unique to him. It was unique to him in that he was putting a statement to it in that it was an inverted pentagram. Is it an inverted pentagram? Ryan, I don't know that for a fact, and I don't think you do either. That's something that you interpreted. I could call it a window decoration. I'm sure that it has different meanings for different people. And to make that kind of a statement that, you know, this is what I have and I'm the only one that's ever been exposed to it is, I can't allow that statement to hold any water.
If part of this prison was constructed by devil worshippers, then that could be what's keeping the dark spirits locked inside. Or the pentagram could simply be a symbol of true evil that took place in the warden's tower.
No. Ryan, you're clear off base. And when I say that, this prison was constructed by it was constructed by natural-born human beings that just fell awry, whether through the drink of whiskey or being broke and trying to supply for their families and so forth, and lust. You know, all those things fall into it. There were people just like you and I that made a horrible mistake in their life, and a lot of them learned from it, and a lot of them didn't. It had nothing to do with that whatsoever as far as the construction of this prison.
Ryan says, or the pentagram could simply be a symbol of true evil that took place in the warden's tower. Is there something very, very bad that's true evil?
I think that for anybody to make that statement without any knowledge of this community whatsoever is totally out of proportion. And when I say that is that I'm 65 years old, and I've been in this community that long. And from my father to my grandfather, I have known of nobody ever speaking of that way as far as the prison is concerned. When you listen to those stories and you listen to the community talk about the prison, because it was a subject, it was one of the leading employers in the area. You know, a lot of the people that are in this town today, their fathers and grandfathers worked in this prison. And those stories don't carry anywhere. Devil worshippers or all this kind of stuff and how the prison was built. It's a prison.
To sum up the statement Ryan made about the prison being constructed by devil worshippers, Paul Kirby expressed,
I would never, ever construe that to be a statement of fact. I think that is a statement of somebody's dream world. And you can print that.
I wish Paul could have seen that I printed that, but sadly, 2 days after the interview, he passed away. So I dedicate this video to Paul Kirby as a tribute to help document facts so followers of Paranormal State aren't misled by made-up stories of paranormal crap.
You just throw something at me? Push me over the edge.
Seems to be some frustration building.
Where you at? All right, listen. You just throw something at me? You just throw something at me? You hear that? Chris?
No, I didn't hear that.
Come down this way, please.
I really, really like the way Northampton has continued to investigate till the last minute. And Tri-State has just said, you know what, after 10 minutes, we're done, we're out of here.
Yeah.
I don't think that was a smart choice.
No. Where you at? Who? How about right here? Just stay like that with the camera. Come on. I'm your guard. Push me over the edge.
The investigations, part 2, is about ready to come to an end. We'll let them go home, get some sleep. They come back in the morning. We'll present the evidence to the judges and myself. And after that, we will announce who the winner of Paranormal Challenge Eastern State Penitentiary is. I'm going to go in and sound the alarm.
All right.
Just double check the equipment. I have one camera, he's got one.
Now that both investigations are officially completed, teams must lock up all of their materials and evacuate the premises until morning.
Yeah, I feel like we're going to win. We've listened to each other in a group, and we stuck together as a team.
It's all a matter of did we get it at the right time. There's plenty here to be gotten. Yeah. No doubt.
Just our techniques of investigating will help to push us right over that little edge.
If we got good evidence and we performed well, then definitely, I think we'll win.
The teams return the next morning to review their evidence.
Get anything?
No.
And to help both teams, Zach has brought in tech expert Billy Tolley. He'll present the 4 most compelling pieces captured during the competition, 2 audio and 2 visual.
You can see it there. Yeah.
It's important to win because just for the simple fact that it increases our credibility as TSPR.
It would probably feel more of a crush if we didn't live up to their expectations.
Judges, that was a great night, wasn't it?
Definitely. Yeah.
You guys ready to tell them how they did?
I am.
Definitely.
Okay, let's bring the teams in. You guys got some good evidence to show us?
I think so.
Aaron Sagers, let's start off by telling Northampton County Paranormal team how they did in their use of history.
When you were in cell block 14, seemed to be some forgetfulness about where you were and no mention of history there.
Aaron, how did they do in teamwork?
There were times when you all came together, you had big plans about what you were going to do, where you were going to investigate, and then it all started falling apart and you didn't follow through.
Third category is technology.
I really like seeing Chris go into the hole with the solo cam. Scott, you also spent a fair amount of time in the mad chair with solo cam. But there were times when you all seemed a little overwhelmed by all the technology that you had at your disposal.
We are ready to see the evidence. Did you start off with audio? Please show the judges your first clip.
This piece was caught in cell block 12. It says, help me.
Help me. Let's listen. Let's listen again.
What were you doing to lead up to that? Were you asking, or was this just a piece of audio you picked up as recorders were rolling?
I believe we picked that up when we were walking.
Scott, let's see your second piece of audio evidence, and set that up for us as well.
This is also in 12. This is an audio caught on video.
Video? What kind of video?
This would be full spectrum.
And what are we listening for?
Just leave.
Just leave. Let's replay it.
Were you talking out? Were you asking questions? Were you just...
I think we were just walking through.
So, Scott, why don't you set this up? Where were you?
We were in cell block 14.
And what are we looking for?
Okay, we actually heard noises up top. It sounded like someone was actually running. Right here.
That hump?
Yes. And this will go on. It'll actually move on us.
Scott, do you have a second piece of visual evidence?
Yes, we have a picture.
A picture? Tell us about it.
This is going to be an apparition. This is the arm. Right. That'd be your left arm.
Whereabouts?
Actually, they discovered the picture. Yeah. Left, yeah.
Any questions, judges?
Scott, Burke, and Chris, you found this image, right?
Yes.
And you approved this image?
This image, yes.
Okay.
That's a tough one.
Yeah, it is.
Northampton County Paranormal. Thank you, team, very much.
Thank you.
Tri-State Paranormal, please step in. Are you ready to hear how the judges felt you did in each category?
Absolutely.
Okay. The judges and myself have decided the winner is...
Northampton Paranormal has delivered their audio and visual evidence to the judges. Now, Tri-State Paranormal will show their evidence.
Are you ready to hear how the judges felt you did in each category? Absolutely. Okay. Alexandra, let's start off using the history.
All three of you knew where you were. That's the first thing I want to point out, which is great. I would have liked to have seen a little bit more usage of the history everywhere you went, because you obviously knew.
How do they do in teamwork?
You all three, I feel, led. And I kind of felt that Sharon, even though it's your team, that it wasn't as consistent as I would have liked to have seen it throughout.
How do they do in technology?
They each used all their equipment and knew where each other were with the equipment.
Pete, are you going to be presenting the judges with your evidence?
Yes, I will.
Tell us about this clip.
Cell block 14, where the children are. Randomly took a picture down the hall.
Okay.
And I said, I hope you were smiling for the picture.
Please show us your first clip.
Right there's a no, right after that.
Let's replay it.
Faint.
There. Yeah, very faint.
Faint, like
very
a child.
faint. Yeah.
Would be.
Pete, did you guys get a second piece of audio evidence?
Yes, we did.
Let's bring that up, please, Billy.
We're in cell block 12, upstairs, second floor on the catwalk.
Am I hearing something kind of derogatory?
Yeah.
I've seen.
It's jail talk.
Jail talk.
Yeah.
Well, what are you claiming it's saying?
Hell no. I don't think they know how to suck.
Billy, play it again for us a couple times. Definitely hear that suck really well.
Did you say you guys were talking
We
during
were
this
talking
time?
amongst ourselves.
And you can actually hear
But the whispers are coming up over the top of your voice. Okay.
Exactly.
So, Pete, how many pieces of visual evidence are you going to be showing the judges?
We have one.
One?
To show.
Okay, tell us what we're going to see here.
Okay, this is cell block 4. Tony was holding the thermal, looking towards the rotunda. You'll see it right here.
Right. Whoa. Let's play it again, Billy. Huh. Tri-State Paranormal, thank you very much for presenting the judges with your evidence. You may be released right now, and we'll call you back once we've reached a decision. Thank you.
Thank you.
Got to make a decision here. Only one team can win. As far as teamwork, who had the advantage?
I think they're pretty evenly matched.
Yeah.
Where you had a very strong leader with Scott Wiley, you had a weak team.
Leave that there. Point the infrared down this way and give me your freaking hat.
Where you had a weaker leader with Sharon,
Yeah.
I felt that Tony and Pete picked up a lot of the slack.
Put the camera here. If that captures a mist or anything in here while that's closing, then we know we got something.
In my opinion, the teamwork kind of flushes out for me on both teams.
Let's talk about the history. When Northampton went down to, I believe it was cell block 14.
Yes.
And they started getting all of that history incorrect.
What's the story with this cell block? I think this is where the guard got pushed.
They don't remember the history of this cell block 14.
Okay,
They think this is where the guards were pushed, and they didn't even know where they were.
Tri-State had a much better grasp of history.
Let's go to technology. Both teams, I think, got some great results using the Melmeter. But I was very, very impressed when I saw Scott Wiley come out of that mad chair by himself, and that thing was just going nuts. Aaron, talk to me about the audio with both teams.
Really liked the help me that Northampton got. I thought that was a pretty strong EVP that they came out of the gate with. They claimed that they picked up some movement on the thermal cam. I didn't see it.
Let's talk about Tri-State. First off, I was very impressed by the one EVP they presented with the suck. I could hear all of that, and it was definitely a harsh whisper. I heard the slang that they were talking about. They knew exactly where it was captured. Any thoughts on that?
Just a great EVP.
Yeah, I thought that was really intriguing.
Yeah.
I think we know who our winner of Paranormal Challenge Eastern State Penitentiary is. All right, teams, before we announce our decision, On behalf of all of us, we just want to say thank you for coming out here. You really showed us some kick-ass investigations. You really did, both of you. Okay? Teams, you do know that this is a competition and that there can only be one winner. The judges and myself have decided the winner of Paranormal Challenge Eastern State Penitentiary is... Tri-State Paranormal.
Oh, awesome.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you. I was amazed when they announced that we were the winners. Very happy, wanted to jump up and down. I think actually I did jump up and down.
Yeah, you did. Congratulations.
I wish Tri-State Paranormal the best. I really do.
The experience overall was fantastic. I would definitely do this again.
Tri-State Paranormal were using the history just very, very well. And it comes down to evidence as well. I was thoroughly impressed. And that wraps up another Paranormal Challenge. Where are we going to go to next?
Constructed in 1822, Eastern State Penitentiary was intended to serve as a model of prison reform. A staff of cruel and inhumane prison guards administered some of the harshest punishment imaginable. Prisoners suffered horribly at the hands of their savage captors. These souls still haunt the prison today. Tonight, we pit two paranormal investigative teams against each other to see who can record the best physical evidence of the paranormal.
Somebody push me?
Whoa, this is Paranormal Challenge, Eastern State Penitentiary.
Something just flew past me.
Go. He's taking your whole life speeding around. Two teams.
Dude, what the?
One night.
Please help me.
One haunted location. And one winner. For the ultimate in bragging rights. I've investigated this place twice, and we've walked away with some really incredible evidence.
Zach Bagans, the Paranormal Challenge chairman, is also lead investigator and co-founder of the highly respected Ghost Adventures crew.
Listen.
He has completed hundreds of investigations, working with the world's renowned paranormal researchers and scientists.
This place makes me feel excited as hell, and I can't wait to watch these teams battle and see what happens to them.
Northampton Paranormal, based in Bath, Pennsylvania.
My name's Scott Wiley. I'm the founder and leader of Northampton County Paranormal. For how long I've been doing it, yes, I can set up an investigation. I can almost predict where something's going to happen.
My name's Chris McGowan. I'm one of the second lead investigators.
Chris is a skeptic, but that brings the edge to us. He's like our little pretty boy. We use him as bait. And in a prison, he'd be perfect.
My name's Scott Burke. I'm the audio-video tech. Being Native American heritage, we're just taught that everything has a soul or a spirit. And that makes a total difference when you're doing investigation.
We look at everything in a scientific view and analyze everything before we give our judgments. We have gotten results everywhere we've gone. The other team better watch out.
Tri-State Paranormal, based in Metuchen, New Jersey.
My name is Sharon Henson. I am lead investigator, and I am the co-director of Tri-State Paranormal Research.
I'm Peter. I'm an investigative TSPR.
He does help us do preliminary investigations, and he does the actual investigation.
It makes me feel very peaceful about death. I mean, I don't fear death because I know there's something afterwards. It's not an end.
Tony is the mouth of the group. Tony is the one that I have to tell to be quiet, or I'm going to shove a cell phone right up, because you know what?
Sharon always bugs me. She's annoying. She's just... I'm just kidding. I love her. She's great.
I think we're going to win.
Yeah.
Right now we're standing near the center rotunda in Eastern State Penitentiary. Teams, how you doing?
Good.
How you doing? This is Charlie Adams. Charlie is an author of Philadelphia Ghost Stories. He's also a radio show host here in Philadelphia. Me and this guy have been in Al Capone's cell before. Did you know that the guards claimed that they would hear him screaming like a little girl? That's right, screaming like a little girl, because he feels that the spirit of a man that was victim to his Valentine's Day massacre came back and haunted him in his own jail cell. And before you teams go off and investigate, Charlie is going to walk you around to all of the areas that you will be investigating tonight. Pay very close attention to every single detail he tells you. I like Eastern State Penitentiary because it does have a reputation of being one of the most haunted locations in the United States. You can walk around and talk about how many inmates were here and about how they used to bake bread and they had classes, but you have to know the real dark history. This is a fortress of death.
Cursed by savage wardens and dehumanizing solitary confinement, Eastern State Penitentiary was a Gothic temple dedicated to depravity, isolation, and torture. Originally designed to revolutionize prisons in 1829, the degrading rehabilitation techniques drove inmates over the edge. Now shuttered, this crumbling complex is said to be a vortex of paranormal activity.
We are on the 3rd level now of cell block 12. I want to show you something here. Get in that cell. Not only the prisoners, but the guards feared for their lives. Let's say I'm a guard walking down here doing my job, that cell door is open, and that prisoner has a lot of anguish, a lot of fight in him. I could easily be pushed over the top, down to the bottom. My neck would be broken, my head would be crushed. These bars were put in as a sort of an afterthought after something like that happened here. This is where the worst of the worst were incarcerated. Common criminals were put in with murderers and rapists. Suicides, murders were committed here, cellmate to cellmate. Feeling that the guards were poisoning him, a very paranoid prisoner named Joseph Taylor managed to get a sewing machine and encountered a guard, Michael Doran, and bashed his head in. Wow. Killed him. After that, satisfied, he took a nap in his cell.
It takes a really mentally disturbed person to actually smash somebody's skull in because you thought they were poisoning you and then just get back up and go take a nap.
Prisoners who were particularly ornery were brought to this baby, the mad chair. They were strapped to this chair, gagged, their circulation was cut off. They were here for days, and they went mad here, hence the mad chair. There was solitary confinement, that's one thing, but then there was the hole where all hope was lost. Vicious criminals were dragged down here for days and weeks and even months of punishment. Bread and water, rats, no light. They lost touch with reality and their own senses.
Barbaric. I think I would probably lose my mind within the first 5 minutes.
Elmo Smith, a prisoner here, known for kidnapping, raping, and murdering a young girl, is one of the quote-unquote famous prisoners here of death row. Good luck here at Eastern State Penitentiary.
With the competition set to begin, Zach gets each team geared up with the most advanced paranormal detection equipment for tonight's challenge.
How you guys doing?
Good.
Look at all this equipment. Each of you are going to receive the same exact pieces of equipment. 2 night vision cameras, 1 on a tripod to use it as a static camera, a thermal imaging camera, 2 full spectrum cameras, 1 a camcorder, the other a digital still. You have a Mel meter that measures for electromagnetic energy and temperature, 2 digital recorders for each team. I got no time to waste. The sun is setting. Suit up, get ready, wait for my signal, and then you guys will be released in Eastern State Penitentiary. Have fun.
Teams will conduct their investigations simultaneously. Northampton Paranormal will begin in Zone 2, and Tri-State Paranormal will start out in Zone 1. Strict time constraints are designed to push each team to the limit. They will only be given 2 hours to complete Part 1 of the investigation, then switch locations and continue investigating for 2 more hours in Part 2. Teams will be judged on overall teamwork, technological proficiency, historical knowledge, and audio and visual evidence they are ultimately able to capture. Tonight's judges are 3 of the country's most notable paranormal experts. Dave Schrader, acclaimed paranormal conference lecturer, co-author of The Other Side, A Teen's Guide to Ghost Hunting, and host of the wildly popular internet talk show, Darkness Radio. Aaron Sagers, published author, nationally syndicated journalist, and editor of ParanormalPopCulture.com. And Alexandra Holzer, daughter of famed paranormal investigator Hans Holzer, author of Growing Up Haunted and syndicated columnist for OM Times.
Tri-State Paranormal, are you ready?
Yes, we are.
Yes, we are.
Northampton County Paranormal, are you guys ready?
We're ready.
The portals are open. Let the challenge begin. Let's start the clock. Judges, they have 2 hours for this first part of investigation.
Chris, I think we're going to send you down to the hole. How's that sound?
That sounds good.
I'm going to the hole first, guys. Yep.
You ready to go?
I'm ready to go. I'm rolling.
All right. Okay.
All right, I'll see you guys. Good luck.
See you guys later. Good luck.
Happy hunting.
Okay.
Joseph Taylor was in one of these cell blocks here. He bashed in Michael Duran's head.
Mr. Taylor, if you're still here, do you want to bash our heads in?
And as far as I'm concerned, you guys deserve to be here. And I don't feel at all bad at the way you guys were treated.
Maybe you like to bash in Pete's head. Ooh. There's a very high EMF here. Oh. Yeah, this is very odd.
What was that?
What was that?
Somebody push me?
Dude, what is that?
We're about 4 minutes into the investigation, and folks, here at the Nerve Center, we're going to be able to watch every single move they make. We're going to be able to listen to everything they say.
Each team is assigned one camera operator and one sound technician to chronicle their investigations. And both areas are equipped with several stationary cameras.
3 big categories that we should be looking out for are how well they use their technology, the equipment that they were given, how well are they using the history that they learned earlier during the walkthrough, and also teamwork.
Teams will conduct their investigations simultaneously. Tri-State Paranormal will begin in Zone 1, which is cell blocks 4, 12, and 10. And Northampton Paranormal will start out in Zone 2, which is cell block 14, Death Row, and the Hole.
Looks like right off the bat, both teams are sending a member of their crew by themselves on the solo cams. That can really attract these spirits. You're less intimidating to the spirits.
Now, Chris here is actually going into the hole. He's actually there now.
And I heard over here that Chris shows fear. So looks like these teams are going to use him as a piece of bait.
This is creepy down here. This is real dark. How was that?
He's looking really nervous and uncomfortable.
Yeah. Well, it's easy to watch behind here, guys. I've been in there, and once you're in there and it's pitch dark and you're by yourself and you're held where some of the most evil inmates were housed, it's a different story.
Now, what I think is interesting, too, Zach, is Tri-State Paranormal Team has elected to send their teammate Sharon down first as a woman into a prison wing, known to be housing some of the most violent male criminals. That's a pretty ballsy move on their team right away.
Let's check in on Sharon.
This is Sharon in cell block 10. Looking for anybody who might want a visitor this evening. Listen, guys, this is your only chance because the rest of the team are all guys. Is there someone down there?
We're here at Death Row, Eastern State Penitentiary. We're looking for an Elmo Smith. Tell me how you can rape and torture and kill a 16-year-old with a crowbar.
I hear you like being called Tickle Me Elmo. Is that true?
Good use of history.
Scott Burke and Scott Wiley here, they're really starting to improve the level of provoking that they're trying. And I'm thinking that these guys throughout the night, they're going to be ones to watch.
Throw something at me.
There you go.
Bad habit of hurting women.
There you go. Yeah. Good, Scott, good.
Was this your cage, Elmo? Huh? Is this your bed? Okay, that just cut off. Full battery just drained.
We just had a full spectrum camera go out. Looks like it died out on him.
Already?
Yeah.
Spirits can use batteries.
Yeah.
Suck it up like they're
sucked it right dry.
Energy. Well, let's check in on Sharon.
Just a poor middle-aged lady walking down the hallway by herself. Fair game to anybody. Ah, the mad chair. Have any of you gone mad in that mad chair?
This is a place where some sick, sadistic torture happened.
Historically, she's getting the area where she is correct, which is great.
Somebody just pushed me in the back. Somebody pushed me?